Hi, welcome to the Pines of Cloverlane. My name's Matt, and this is Matt's Maintenance Corner. Today, we want to talk to you a little bit about heat loss, frozen pipes, and maintaining an appropriate temperature in your apartment home. First things first, let's talk about heat loss. In the wintertime, when we experience very low temperatures like we do here in Michigan and other northern states, we experience in the wintertime a significant amount of heat loss through various areas of your apartment or your home. So let's talk a little bit about those areas and things that we can do to help reduce the amount of heat loss that we have, helping to save energy and maybe helping to save the life of your furnace as well. So one of the first heat loss areas that we're going to experience is going to be right here at your window. Obviously, you're going to feel a little bit of a draft coming off of it, some heat transfer. Don't worry, in a lot of cases this is convection, so this is normal. Here we have an aluminum window frame and a double pane glass. So you may put your hand up to this glass and feel like, okay, well this is a little cool, but I almost feel a draft off the aluminum. That's because the heat is transferring out of the apartment through this aluminum. And that is an excellent conductor of temperature. So we're losing heat simply through the frame of this window, right? So one of the reasons that we might recommend putting up a window sealing kit, which is the plastic film kit. You can buy these at Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware, pretty much any hardware store that you might want to frequent. They're very simple to install. We lift our blinds, like so, and we add a double-sided tape adhesive down the side of your window. And then we apply the film, and sometimes you may want to use, it may indicate that you need to use a hair dryer to shrink wrap that plastic so that it's nice and tight against the window, and that's going to provide an extra layer of insulation. One of the other recommendations that we might have, and if you don't want to do the plastic, believe it or not, just closing your blinds can help keep a little bit of that heat from transferring out of your window. It's not going to do a lot, but it will help a little bit for you. So in fact, I can already feel a difference now that I've closed this. I don't have the convection happening here at this window. I can open and close these blinds and feel the difference in temperature almost immediately. So if you don't object to having your blinds closed, that might be an easy way to help you out. If we come over to the patio door, you may experience the same exact situation here. And again, you may not want to do the film because if you go in and out of your patio in the wintertime for whatever purposes you have, that might not be conducive. So again, this is where you may want to use your blinds, and this is going to help just a little bit. Now don't be alarmed if you're sitting here and you see your blinds move a little bit. This may occur. We do have a vent above your blinds. We do have a little bit of heat transfer and convection effect coming off of this glass. So a little bit of movement, not as alarming, but if you start seeing a breeze, you may have to call maintenance and let us come take a look at it and help you out with that. So those are a couple of areas that you're going to experience heat loss. Another location, obviously, which a lot of you might understand, right here at your front door. Some of the measures that we can take for you in that case is if we have a gap at the bottom of the door, we could put on a door seal for you. We could put on a door sweep. We could replace a threshold or even do a weather seal kit on the exterior. Now, it may not be necessary in this particular area because we do have a heated hallway. It is warmer. It is a little climate controlled. However, if that becomes an issue for you, there's one step that we can take. Let's move on to maintaining an appropriate temperature in your home. So here we have a thermostat. I believe in a previous segment we've gone over thermostat use. When we get down to temperatures like we've had recently, into the negatives, we had 0 to negative 19 degree temperatures here recently in the Ann Arbor area and in the Metro Detroit area as well. At that time, you may want to increase the temperature on your thermostat just to maintain. If you turn the heat down to 56 degrees or to 55 degrees and leave it there for the day, there is a good strong possibility that we could get enough cold penetration into your home to start causing frozen pipes or other detrimental activity within the apartment home. So in these really, really cold weather months when we're experiencing these very low temperatures, I do recommend that when you go to work or you leave the home for the weekend or if you're on vacation or even if you're moving out, we leave the heat on. And if we're going to see sub-zero temperatures, let's leave that at least 65 to 70 degrees. That's going to help the furnace cycle appropriately, and that's going to help us keep heat running in this apartment almost consistently so that we don't have a 3-hour drop where we have no heat being expelled, but we have a lot of cold air being brought in. So that period of time can take under 4 to 5 hours for your pipes to freeze and burst. Bad situation for all of us. So So let's keep our thermostat up. If you're not going to be gone for long, of course, go ahead and leave it at the 60 or 55 degree. But if we're going to be gone for extended periods of time, and especially for those of you moving out, do not turn off your heat. It will burst the pipes and we'll have a real mess on all of our hands. So let's go in here and let's talk a little bit about what happens when we have experiencing the frozen pipes, or methods that we can use to prevent it. Not long ago, we sent out an email blast that recommended that in these temperatures, especially under the zero, when we get down into the negatives, that we turn the heat on, we open up our cabinets where we have plumbing fixtures. The reason for this is we have copper pipes and stainless steel supply lines under here that all transfer energy very well. They're very good conductors of heat, and they will remove the heat from your apartment, leaving in cold frozen pipes, which will burst, causing a flood again. So one of the methods that we see, and especially considering that if you turn on your faucet and you have no water on one section, but you do have water on another, we may have a frozen pipe we need to address. So we want to call maintenance if you have no water coming out of your faucet. But again, like I said, when the temperatures come down low, let's open up the bottom of this cabinet. Let's turn our faucet on to a very low trickle. And in this case, we're going to say just enough to get the water flowing in a very, very, very slow trickle, both hot and cold water on at the same time. And the passage of the water through the pipes helps prevent ice from forming and freeze up from occurring. We can go now into the bathroom, and we'll talk about that as well. Most of the time, our interior pipes aren't necessarily affected. But what we also want to remember is sometimes this water doesn't come from above us, sometimes it's coming out of the ground. So it may be exceptionally cold there or behind the wall. And in addition, we may have a lot of cold air in the wall, especially if you have an outdoor exposure to your apartment. So if your bathroom, your kitchen, or any other water fixtures are exposed to an exterior wall on the outside of the building, that exterior wall may get exceptionally cold, and that's especially when we want to open up our cabinet doors, turn the water on to a slight trickle, and let it run so that we can prevent our frozen pipes. Let's not forget our bathtub. We have the same plumbing issues that we could have underneath of our kitchen sink or our bathroom sink. So if we're going to turn our faucets on in our bathroom and our kitchen, let's include our bathtub as well. We're going to turn that on just ever so slightly so that it runs and trickles. If you can't turn on both the cold and hot water at the same time, preferably turn on the cold water. It is obviously the coldest. If you run into issues with your toilet not filling in the wintertime, please contact emergency maintenance right away. You may have a frozen pipe there. We did experience this once this year, and because of the fast action of a resident and reporting of this, we were able to stop the problem before it was a real mess. So please give us a call if you have stoppage of water at all during the wintertime, and our maintenance technicians will be glad to stop out and resolve that issue for you before we have any major damages. That'll do it for me today on Matt's Maintenance Corner. Please visit our website at thepinesofcloverlane.com to view any other material and to take a look at our beautiful apartment homes that are available to rent. Thank you very much and have a great day.